All right, Mom, you're going to put a stop to this right now. What do you think you're doing, spreading such awful rumors about me? You're lying to the whole neighborhood about your own daughter. I can't even begin to tell you how much you've humiliated me.
Whatever could you be talking about, Melina? I haven't lied about you to anyone. That's an awful accusation to throw at your mother. What lies are you referring to?
You're telling everyone you know that my fiancé is a high school dropout, homeless, and collecting welfare. I just ran into Aunt Shirley downtown, and the first thing she did was ask me if I'm sure I want to marry a man like that. She spent a full 5 minutes trying to convince me to break up with him, thanks to you.
Oh, so that's what this is about. What's wrong with telling people the plain and simple truth about your fiancé? After all, the only kind of man dumb enough to marry a high school dropout like you must be equally as stupid as you are.
Excuse me? Did you just call me stupid? And I couldn't help but notice that that was also a cruel dig at my fiancé, too.
Again, was anything I just said wrong? You did drop out of high school, and you know what they say. Like attracts like. It's only natural to assume your fiancé must be equally as uneducated, reckless, and stupid as you are.
What gives you the right to talk about my fiancé like that? You've never even met him. I'll have you know he is a kind, intelligent, hardworking, wonderful man. Not only did he not drop out of high school, he actually went to college, and he got an advanced degree.
Are you serious? Your fiancé went to college?
Why do you think I've been begging you to meet with him and talk to him personally? You don't know anything about him. But whenever I invite you over for dinner, you're always busy with one thing or another. If you're going to talk to people about him, then common courtesy dictates you should at least speak to him first.
I would never even dream of doing such a thing. Why would I go out of my way to meet with your fiancé? I don't feel like associating myself with the dregs of society. Don't forget that I've been against you getting married from the very beginning. Tying the knot before your younger sister, Luna, it's absolutely ridiculous, ludicrous, madness even. So no, I won't be meeting with any fiancé of yours when I don't even consent to the marriage in the first place.
I don't get it, Mom. It doesn't make a bit of sense. Why are you so opposed to me getting married? I mean, the simple fact that I'm several years older than Luna makes it far more likely that I get married first, statistically speaking.
Don't play dumb with me. This has nothing to do with age, and you know it. The problem is that you're a high school dropout. Your sister Luna, however, went to a prestigious university and graduated with honors. You're inferior to her in every way imaginable. How could I ever allow you to get married before her?
I am at a loss for words. I genuinely don't know what to say in response to that.
Ever since she was a small child, I always knew that Luna would grow up to be beautiful and intelligent. I'm so proud to be her mother. You, on the other hand, are an ugly high school dropout. I'm ashamed to even be associated with you. And yet you still felt like you had the right to get married before your sister. You don't deserve happiness, Melina. You don't deserve love. Luna deserves everything.
Are you joking right now? You've got some nerve to say that to me. It's not like I wanted to drop out of high school. I had no choice. And you were the one who left me with no other choice, Mom. After Dad passed away when I was a freshman in high school, we did hit some hard financial times. But then you decided that we could only afford to have one of our family members going to school. You made me drop out of high school so I could work to support the family.
What was I supposed to do? Someone had to support the family. Your father died before his career took off. He left us with absolutely nothing.
If that's really the case, then we should have at least talked everything over as a family before deciding how to move forward. But you wouldn't listen to a word I said. You made the decision completely arbitrarily and without talking to either of us. Do you remember what you said to me then? You said that a college degree would be wasted on an ugly girl like me. So you made me drop out of high school to pay for Luna's college education.
With limited financial resources, I had no choice but to spend efficiently. With beauty and brains, Luna's sure to find a husband with no trouble at all. A man with class, style, talent, and of course, tons and tons of money. Once Luna marries that wealthy man, then he'll be able to support Luna and me. And I won't have any issues with maintaining a decent lifestyle into my elderly years. I had everything planned out intricately, and it all hinged on Luna going to college instead of you.
I see. So you weren't thinking about me or Luna. You were only ever thinking about yourself. You say you're ashamed to be associated with me? Well, that makes two of us. I'm ashamed to call you my mother. Well, to think I worked so hard to raise you all by myself, only for you to speak in such a disrespectful way to me. I hope you're not planning on receiving any sort of wedding gift from me. As a matter of fact, you shouldn't plan on me coming to your wedding at all. You can cut the act, Mom. We both know you were never going to give us anything to begin with. Even if you're telling the truth and really are marrying a college graduate, it still wouldn't be worth my time to attend the wedding. Nothing changes the fact that he decided to marry an ugly high school dropout. He must be hideously ugly. He's probably overweight, too. Oh, and unemployed to boot. That's the only sort of man who would choose you to spend their life with. Hey, Ken, got a minute? I need to talk to you about the wedding. Long story short, we're not gonna need to prepare a seat for my mom at the venue.
Oh boy. I guess that means she turned you down then?
I'm sorry, I've told you about this before, but my family is, well, kind of dysfunctional. I was planning to ask that she please come when I talked to her yesterday, but we just ended up having another fight. And toward the end, she said in no uncertain terms that she had no intentions of coming to our wedding. To be really honest, though, I don't really want her to come either.
Man, I guess it is what it is. I mean, I definitely would love for her to come to such an important event, but... Well, what can you do? I know you have a messy history with your mom, and if it's just gonna cause problems, then we don't need to invite her. It's our wedding, isn't it? The most important thing is that we can make it a positive environment to celebrate with our near and dear ones.
Thank you for being so understanding, Ken.
Oh, but what about your sister? Is she coming? Your issues are just between you and your mom, right?
Oh yeah, me and my sister get along just fine. We used to hang out together all the time whenever Mom wasn't around. Honestly, it seems like life for her isn't all rainbows and unicorns either. Getting love-bombed by my mom on a daily basis is just as troublesome as getting hate-bombed. I'm pretty concerned for her the way things are. When I announced that you proposed, Mom's face turned pale as a ghost, but Luna lit up with excitement. She was so happy for me.
That's great to hear. So does that mean we can plan on her coming?
Well, I haven't told her any details about the wedding yet, just the fact that we're engaged. I've been meaning to talk to her about that sometime in the near future.
Okay. From what you're telling me, it seems like it might be for the best to wait a bit before telling her, though. The most important thing is that we can make it a positive environment to celebrate with our near and dear ones. That's a really busy time of the year for students at that college.
I guess you're right. We can put it off for a bit longer. Thanks for the advice, Ken. I love you. Talk to you later. Mom, what in the world are you doing? You said you weren't coming. We never even sent you an invitation. But now you just show up out of nowhere and barge your way in? And that's all besides the point. Why are you dressed like that? I felt responsibility as your mother to ensure that this wedding is a total disaster. What do you think of my outfit, dear? It took me forever to put it all on, not to mention finding somewhere they sell scythes. Do you have any idea how hard it is to get your hands on a real scythe these days? You have gone completely insane. And you mean to tell me you went out of your way to come to my wedding dressed like the Grim Reaper just to ruin my wedding? What is wrong with you? I told you, Melina, there was no way I was ever going to allow this wedding to go forward. You have no business getting married before Luna. At first I thought it would be enough to refuse to come. But the more I thought about it, I realized that simply my opposition wouldn't be enough to get you to cancel this monstrosity of a wedding. I knew that I had to forever bury your hopes and dreams of getting married. That's why I decided to come dressed as the Grim Reaper. I don't believe this. How could you be so opposed to me getting married, Mom? I'm your daughter. Don't you want to see your daughter find happiness? I would love nothing more than for my superior daughter to find happiness. You, however, are an inferior product. I could never allow a failure such as yourself to be happy. The thought of such an ugly, uneducated person walking down the aisle in a beautiful white dress, grinning from ear to ear, it just makes me sick. Why
should you be so happy when the more deserving people are miserable? Have you no shame?
That's my line. Are you listening to yourself?
You should live a life more fitting of someone of your stature, poor, cold, and alone. And yet you have the gall to throw such an elaborate wedding. Luna should be getting married today, not you. You don't deserve any of this, and as God is my witness, I will do everything in my power to take it all away from you.
I can't do this anymore. You've always preferred Luna over me ever since we were kids. You never cared about me. You never loved me at all. If that's how you feel about me, why can't you just leave me alone? It's no business of yours who I marry, when I marry them, and what kind of wedding I have. Stay out of my life.
It's not that I don't care. If I didn't care, then you wouldn't make me so furious as you do. You're the spitting image of your father, that useless excuse for a man. How could he go and leave me alone like this? He forced me to take on the entire burden of supporting this family by myself. And every time I look at you, I'm reminded of him and what he did to me.
Mom.
That's why it pains me so much to see you happy. That's why I have to stop this wedding. Getting married is the happiest moment in anyone's life. I remember how I felt on my wedding day. Do you see now? Do you understand why I must do what I'm doing now?
So, that's why you're doing this? That's why you've been so awful to me all these years? I always thought you were just playing favorites because Luna's prettier than I am. I'm not deluded about my looks. I'm well aware that most people would say that Luna is the prettier sister. I freely admit that she's prettier than I am. But that wasn't it, was it? It was really all because I looked like Dad. Mom, I understand you've gone through some hard times. But that's no reason for you to use me as some kind of punching bag. I don't exist for you to vent your frustrations out on. I'm a human being. I'm your daughter.
You're right about one thing. You are indeed my daughter. And as my daughter, you are what I say you are. And I say you're my punching bag.
You're the worst, Mom. You treated me like trash to try and make yourself feel better. And today you came to my wedding dressed like the Grim Reaper with a real scythe and everything just to try and ruin my chance at happiness. You're such a child, Mom. Why did Dad have to be the one to die?
Shut your mouth, little girl. You can't talk to me like that. You're nothing but an ugly high school dropout. You're a disgrace to both me and your sister. Ruining this day for you has been the most filling thing I've done in years.
I hate to interrupt your self-satisfaction, but aren't you forgetting something important?
What?
You never asked me who my fiancé was. I told Luna about him, and she's met him in person before. So I figured she would have said something to you about him. But from the sounds of things, you really don't know anything, huh? Come to think of it, I'll bet she intentionally left you in the dark.
What's going on with you, Melina? You think your husband's identity would mean anything to me? I don't care one bit about who you're marrying. You claim he went to college, but I bet it was just some community college. No man worthy of my attention would ever marry an ugly high school dropout for a wife.
Well, while I did start out taking classes at a community college, my educational path didn't stop there. I went on to receive a master's degree, and I'm currently a tenure-track professor. But those qualifications aren't enough for you, Mother? My goodness, you have high standards.
What? Who is this?
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. My name is Ken, and today it is my distinguished honor to receive your daughter's hand in holy matrimony. As I just mentioned, I'm currently teaching at a nearby university. I think you may have heard of it, considering it's the university that your other daughter, Luna, is attending.
You're a college professor, and at Luna's school, but that's the most prestigious university in the state.
Well, in all fairness, I was only hired this school year, so I'm new on campus. However, in that short time, I just so happened to have met Luna multiple times. Twice a week, to be precise, she's enrolled in one of my classes. She always sits in the front row and is very attentive. Most of my students are constantly fiddling with their phones during class, but not her.
This can't be happening. You're a college professor, and Luna is one of your students? But, if you really have the qualifications that you say you do, then why would you even consider marrying Melina? I shouldn't have to tell you that she's ugly, but are you aware she's a high school dropout? Someone of your caliber shouldn't be wasting your time with an imbecile like her.
Yes, I'm aware of Melina's educational history. I disagree wholeheartedly on your assessment of her appearance and intelligence, however. Frankly, educational attainment is a horrible measure of a person's cognitive capacity. I can't begin to tell you how ungifted some of the people I have to deal with at the university are.
What?
Melina, however, is incredibly gifted, particularly in foreign languages. Did you know she's fluent in Spanish, French, and Mandarin? She makes great use of those skills in her work, too. Honestly, she's one of the most intelligent, hardworking people I've ever known.
But I don't remember her ever studying foreign languages. How could she speak all those languages without even finishing high school?
It seems you're not aware of much of anything at all that Melina has done with her life. She's the international liaison officer for a major trading company. It's her responsibility to translate during international meetings between the company's branches in Los Angeles, Madrid, Paris, and Beijing. Ordinarily, a company would have to hire at least one person per language, but she handles it all by herself.
I had no idea.
It's precisely those language skills that brought us together. You see, there was recently a major development in my field at a university in France. Unfortunately, however, I don't speak French. That's where Melina came in. It wasn't even in a field that she was an expert in, but she translated the entire paper in an afternoon. The way she was so willing and eager to take on a new challenge was completely enrapturing. I fell in love at first sight.
With her?
I invited her out on a date after that. Eventually, we became officially a couple, and just a few months ago, I asked her to be my wife. I've been looking forward to our wedding for so long, and Melina was doubly as excited. And yet, you, Melina's own mother, came out here today on a mission to crush her happiness. Ma'am, I'm not quick to be incensed. I like to think I'm one of the more level-headed people I know, but even I am struggling to rein in my anger right now.
Listen, Professor, I would like to apologize for everything I've said. Oh my goodness, I had no idea a person such as yourself would be interested in someone like Melina. And not only that, you're Luna's professor as well. I'm so ashamed. I'm going to go change into proper attire now. I'll be back in a moment.
Waste your time. We never prepared a place for you today anyway. Leave immediately. You are not welcome here.
What?
Let me make myself crystal clear. If you do not leave the premises within 3 minutes, I will call the police. Also, you should know that our university has a world-class law school. I know many of the world's best lawyers on a first-name basis. I will force you to take responsibility for what you've done here today. That I can promise you.
I'm leaving right now. I'm very sorry for everything. Melina, you owe me an explanation. Why didn't you ever tell me about Ken? I had no idea he was a college professor. I just humiliated myself thanks to you.
Thanks to me? Nah, you did a good enough job of humiliating yourself without any help from me at all. And please, I tried to tell you about Ken so many times. I've been trying to get you to come and meet him for the last several months. But you refused to meet him, and you ignored or denied everything I told you about him.
Hush, you! You could have tried much harder to introduce him to me.
Oh, for the love of...
I'll have to go and apologize to Ken immediately. I still can't believe he was Luna's professor. Maybe if I butter him up enough, he might give up his silly pursuit of you and marry Luna instead.
I don't believe you. You're still just thinking about using Luna's life as your retirement plan.
Nonsense! I'm doing this for Luna. The fact that I'll benefit is merely a pleasant side effect. A man like him deserves a woman like Luna on his arm. I need to call Luna too, so we can schedule a strategy planning session. She's going to be so happy when she hears I've found a husband for her.
No, I don't think she's going to be so eager to take you up on that. She's already married.
What? Luna is Married?
As expected, you are completely oblivious. You've showered her with affection every day of her life, but you never asked her if she had a boyfriend?
Melina, what are you talking about? What do you mean Luna's married? That can't be.
It totally can, actually. She just got married a few weeks ago.
No!
Luna had a big midterm exam a while back, but she was absent that day. Ken was concerned about her since he'd never seen her miss a single class. That made me worried too, so I gave Luna a call and she spilled the beans to me. It turns out that she was pregnant and felt too sick to get out of bed that morning. Furthermore, she was considering dropping out of school completely to get married.
She's pregnant? Oh no.
Yeah, I was surprised at first too. Then I went over to see her, and sure enough, she had grown a bit rounder in her face and waist. At that point, she was about 5 months pregnant.
No, Luna. Oh, my darling, sweet Luna. She was my everything, my hopes and my dreams. And now, oh, my dreams have been crushed to pieces.
She told me that she was sick and tired of everything. All the affection and attention you had heaped on her had become a massive amount of pressure. She did what you asked of her and got into that prestigious university, but she hated every single day of it. It was around that time when she met a nice guy, started dating him, and eventually got pregnant.
This is the worst day of my life.
Yeah, this is precisely the response she was afraid of. She was so afraid of what you'd say if she came out and told you the truth, so she hid her pregnancy from you. I was the first person other than her boyfriend that she had even told about being pregnant.
Where is Luna right now? Tell me. Oh, she can't be pregnant as a college student. I won't allow it. I'll also have to go and examine this boyfriend of hers to see if he's up to snuff. If she met him at her university, then there's a good chance he's exactly the kind of man I'm looking for. If he's gotten my precious Luna pregnant, then he's going to have to take responsibility by paying for my living expenses.
Yep, that's exactly what Luna thought you'd say, and that's exactly why she dropped out of college. She's already moved in with the baby's father.
What? She dropped out?
Looks like Luna finally had enough of you, Mom. She said that she was sick and tired of doing what you say. She'd been pushing herself to limit every single day of her life and couldn't handle it anymore. Now she just wants to enjoy a quiet, peaceful life with her husband and their baby.
No. So you're telling me the truth then? She really dropped out of college? How could she do that without talking to me first?
Do I really need to answer that question? She had enough of your advice, so she came to me for help instead. I told her what you should have told her years ago, that her life is her own and no one else's. For her part, Luna felt awful about going to college while I was forced to drop out of high school. But honestly, dropping out was the best decision I've ever made. It freed me up to learn about what's really important in life rather than what they shoved down your throat in school. When I told her that, it was all the encouragement she needed to walk straight to the administration office and drop out.
This is terrible. So where is she now? Do you know?
No, she didn't tell me, and I didn't ask. She sent me an envelope with a card congratulating me on my wedding, but there was no return address on it.
She can't do this to me. Oh, my sweet, precious Luna. She had everything. Looks, brains, style. I poured everything I had into her. What am I supposed to do now? I'm all alone.
Yeah, your big retirement plan hinged on Luna marrying a rich guy after all. But since Luna's out of the picture now, you'll just have to figure something out for yourself. And with that, I am taking my leave from this conversation.
Melina, wait. You weren't my first choice, but with Luna gone, well, beggars can't be choosers. Now you can be my favorite daughter.
Are you serious?
I'm sorry for being so cruel to you up until now. I just had no idea what a bright, intelligent, hard-working woman you were. How about we just forget about all our nasty pain and come together as a family again? I know. How about you and Ken take me out to dinner one of these nights?
Not a chance. You're way, way too late to have this change of heart.
But I'm sincere about this, Melina. I want to make it up to you. We've got a lot of lost time between us as mother and daughter, dear. It's not too late to repair our relationship.
Yes, it is. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have a mother. You're dead to me.
Melina, don't say that, please.
You have only yourself to blame for this. You've been the absolute worst mother in the world to me ever since Dad died. Come to think of it, I don't even remember you being kind to me while Dad was still alive. So no, it is most assuredly too late for you to start trying to be my mom again.
I know things have been difficult between us, but time heals all wounds. Let's give it some time, okay? I'm begging you, Melina. Without you, I have nothing left.
That's your problem, not mine. Maybe you should have thought twice before coming to my wedding dressed like the Grim Reaper.
Oh, that was just a joke. I was trying to be funny.
No one's laughing, Mom. Never contact me again. I won't even come to your funeral when you finally die. My mom tried to contact me a bunch of times after that, but I eventually got sick of it and blocked her number, so that was the end of that. I heard from my relatives and neighbors that she had gone around begging for any information on Luna's whereabouts. But they knew exactly what Mom had been doing to both me and her since our dad died, so none of them were willing to give up any of the little information they had. I don't blame them either. Mom always paraded her around like a new sports car or something. She only ever saw Luna as a designer purse, never as a daughter. Actually, I take that back. She also saw her as a walking, breathing retirement account. While I don't know where she's living, I still keep in touch with my sister. It's so nice to have Mom out of both of our lives now. She used to dominate every conversation, but now she's not even an afterthought. The baby's going to be born soon, and both she and her husband are more excited than they have ever imagined they would be. I know just what a hardworking, intelligent, and positive girl Luna is, so I know she's going to be a fantastic mother for that baby. I'm looking forward to having a similar sort of family life here with my husband Ken, too.